She's so fine. Hell of a hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Wednesday, August the 2nd, 2023. This video is going to be regarding missing 39-year-old Allisha Watts, missing from North Carolina and has been missing since July the 16th. She was last seen with her boyfriend of roughly 1 year, James Wendell Dunmore, and they were last seen in James Dunmore's driveway as they were getting into Allisha Watts' 2023 Mercedes SUV, and James Dunmore was getting into the driver's side while Allisha Watts was getting into the passenger side of her vehicle. Now, Allisha Watts' cousin, Gwendolyn Utley, lives across the street from James Wendell Dunmore, and she is the one that actually introduced Allisha Watts to James Dunmore. She saw this as they drove off. That was the last time that Allisha Watts was seen. Now, as I understand it, Allisha Watts drove from her home in Jackson Springs, North Carolina, to Charlotte, North Carolina, to visit James Dunmore on July the 14th, as she does every other weekend. But on July the 16th, which would have been a Sunday, that following Sunday, she did not show up for an outing with her sister that she never would have missed. And it was then she was reported missing. Now, 2 days later, on July the 18th, her 2023 black Mercedes SUV was located by the police. And a lot of you wonder why I say police instead of police, because I stress the "po" on that, because P.O. in police officer stands for peace officer. And I want to emphasize that every single time I say that word. She was located by the police, her vehicle, rather, in the parking lot of a DMV office 50 miles east of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a small little podunk called Polkton, North Carolina. Now, if you look at this area on the map, this place is way out in the middle of nowhere. And here's the strangest part. Inside her 2023 black Mercedes SUV, officers found James Dunmore, who was unresponsive. Now, no sign of Allisha Watts, but her purse was actually located inside the car. So the police, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, kept really quiet about James Dunmore's unresponsive condition. Didn't really specify what that condition was that rendered him unresponsive, declined to specify a lot of things in regards to James Dunmore. Now, eventually, his home was searched by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, and what they found in there was Allisha Watts' cell phone. And the eerie part about this case is that James Wendell Dunmore has an extensive criminal history. He's had prior convictions for domestic violence, abduction, assault and battery, malicious wounding. What else was in there? Harassment. I believe strangulation may have been in there. There was a lengthy criminal history. James Dunmore was arrested. He spent 5 years in the pen, and he had 15 years on paper, unsupervised parole. Okay? So he wasn't being watched very well from the gate. Now, there's been at least one meeting where several racial justice community members got together, had a meeting, but this is coming on the heels of Carly Russell and her buffoonery, her shenanigans that she pulled. And it has really damaged a lot of cases that really have missing people. And that, I believe, is part of the problem in this case. I don't think it was taken very seriously in the beginning. and that's really unfortunate. Carly Russell has cast a black cloud over missing black and brown people, and that is not at all what we needed. Now, in the last couple of hours, some of the local stations there in Charlotte have come out with some articles um, saying that investigators are looking for evidence of murder in the disappearance of Allisha Watts, and that the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department officers searched an Audi as well as the home of James Wendell Dunmore, which is on Pamela Lorraine Drive. And um, here's the killing part about it. They will not say whether he is a suspect or even a person of interest in the investigation. Now, how can he not be one or the other? The warrants show that officers were looking for any evidence of murder at James Dunmore's home and in the car at the home. The car is referred to as the vehicle to be searched that was involved in the incident. I don't even like how that is worded. But since July the 16th, she has not been heard from or seen. And it looks like from cell phone records from actually Allisha Watts' phone and James Wendell Dunmore's phone that the car and everything else returned home to Pamela Lorraine Drive around 3 p.m. on July the 16th. And all three, the phone, the vehicle, and James Dunmore, remained at that location until around 6 a.m. on July the 18th. What an odd time. We now know that Allisha Watts and James Dunmore were going to a comedy show at the Bojangles Coliseum. The tickets were for July the 16th. They did not attend. They never showed up. Allisha Watts is an entrepreneur, owns her own business, and hadn't shown up for work all week or been in contact with any of her employees, which was the norm for her. She didn't respond to any phone calls or text messages from family or friends since the morning of July the 17th. It's just a sad case. The search warrant for the home, the police seized clothing, cell phones, a camera, a tablet, a laptop, a memory card, swabs, and photos. And the latest that they said is this is an active and ongoing missing persons case, the same BS they feed everybody else. There are no new developments at this time regarding her location. Several law enforcement agencies, as well as the family, are cooperating with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. Detectives remain vigilant to locate Allisha Watts and are hoping for a positive outcome. Anyone with information about this case is asked to call 911 immediately. They've also held a prayer vigil in Moore County, which is where Allisha Watts is from. Very powerful prayer meeting. From all accounts, Allisha Watts was a pillar in her community. Very well loved, likable person, successful person, and it is a shame that she crossed paths with James Wendell Dunmore, because not one person can say that about him. Just based off of his criminal history, I can guarantee you that there are a lot of females that have crossed his path that would tell you something completely different about James Dunmore. 51-year-old James Dunmore. So this is just my start video for this case, and I'm going to continue to follow this case. I'm going to continue to keep updates coming, and I just wanted to get started somewhere. So I'm going to end this video on that note. Thanks for watching, guys.
Hi, Lauren. The family says there's been a lot of sleepless nights worried about Allisha. Where is Allisha? So tonight here in this parking lot, they push people to step up. They believe someone knows exactly what happened, but unfortunately, those answers have been slow to come.
Come home! Allisha Watts, come home! Allisha Watts, come home! Allisha Watts, come home!
For the second night, friends and family of Allisha Watts gathering in Southern Pines.
No, you would never think that one of your loved ones would go missing, you know.
And missing is a different type of hurt.
It's been 16 days since anyone has seen the 39-year-old. Long days filled with anxiety as the wait continues.
When you open your eyes in the morning, it's like all day in your head, like, am I going to hear anything today? Or, you know.
Search warrants obtained by Eyewitness News show investigators searched her boyfriend's Charlotte home and at Audi Q7 last week, 10 days after she was last seen alive, looking for any evidence in the crime of murder. Those documents also reveal cell data records show Allisha's phone, her boyfriend's phone, and her car were all at the home around 3 p.m. on July 16th until around 6 a.m. on July 18th. The new warrant says later that day, James Dunmore, her boyfriend, was found inside Allisha's car after a suicide attempt.
I hate that it took us to go all the way up there, make a press conference, go to his house, you know, for all this to start coming out, you know, but yeah, it's time for them to put the pressure because enough is enough.
Doing their own searches, hoping for any clue, big or small.
We went to different businesses. We even went through a neighborhood and we handed out different flyers and just asked people, hey, have you seen this person?
Back in Moore County, keeping hope alive through prayer.
I'm believing she's going to come home until someone tells me different.
Now, community advocates have set up a Facebook page called Find Allisha Watts, where they are asking people to sign up to volunteer for their search efforts. So they are really pushing, and this is a grassroots effort, not giving up hope and finding Allisha Watts, hoping she will come home safely. In Southern Pines, I'm Janice Price, ABC 11, Eyewitness News.
Yeah.
My name is Dearest Price, Dearest Price. I'm the regional manager for the Racial Justice Network, in which we're establishing a chapter out here. I won't be long before you. I came prepared because I'm tired of this. I came prepared because just on yesterday I was at the same courthouse dealing with buffoonery and how black women are treated, not only in the city of Charlotte, but nationally. This should be on national news. This should be on every network right now. Just as you did Shanquilla Robinson, just as you did Carly Russell. This should be going on, and we shouldn't have to beg for it. We shouldn't have to beg to be seen. We shouldn't have to beg to speak. We shouldn't have to beg to be heard. Power to the people. I literally beg God to sit on my tongue so that everything I said today would be in the absence of anger and frustration. But I can't. I am exhausted. This is a similar story with a unique person. I don't want to put her in a category with everyone else. This is a similar story with someone who was beloved, an entrepreneur, someone who was revered in her community. And what I want to do first and foremost is I want to give solutions, because I don't want to get up here preaching to you. I don't want to get up here and shouting to you. Number one, Sheriff McFadden, you need to have a meeting with us right now. The national chapter of the Racial Justice Network is here in Charlotte. We need to see you today. We need to sit at the table. We need to know what's going on today about this young lady. Step number two, all you people who use social media, all you people who do Facebook and Instagram, let's stop using it for buffoonery and let's make her face on your profile. Because the only way we're going to get some acknowledgement to this is if we put our voices together. We can't do this alone. Step three, what we need to do is we need to get this happening every week until she is found. This does not need to be a one-day rally. Next week, news media, you need to be out here. Next week, news media, you should be making sure that it's being handled. Next week, we need to still be discussing why this is happening to black women constantly. I am infuriated. I know what the DA is up to. I know what Sheriff McFadden does. I know the capabilities of Charlotte. And right now, last but not least, we need to call names. And as I said, I'm not political. I'm not running for office. I don't care what you think about me. I don't need to be your friend. We need to just bring this young lady home. So what we need to know, Sheriff McFadden, what is going on with, his name is Dunmore. Hold on, let me get the name right. What is it? James Dunmore. James Dunmore, come forward. James Dunmore, tell us what's going on. Stop playing these games. James Dunmore, where is this young lady? James Dunmore, we need to know some answers. James Dunmore, I need to see you face to face. James Dunmore, man up. Man up. As I said, you have the answers. You was last with her. As I said, I'm not political. As I said, I am just a regional manager for the Racial Justice Network here in Charlotte. If you need to get involved, please reach out today. Sheriff McFadden, I expect to hear from you. All right?
Overnight, friends and family holding a second vigil for missing Allisha Watts. Family members say it's all to help get the word out on her disappearance. She went missing back on July 16th after taking a trip to visit her boyfriend, James Dunmore, in University City. The latest vigil comes as a newly obtained search warrant shows CPD search for types of evidence commonly used in murder cases. The documents show that search happened at the last place she was seen, her boyfriend's home. Wake Up Charlotte's Julian Grace has more on the latest vigil in Moore County.
For more than an hour, this group raised their voices in song and prayers.
Trouble their sleep, trouble their rest, in the name of Jesus.
Then they got to work.
Get donations so that we can keep these searches on the ground that the community wants to do. It's just getting the word out, talking to people in the neighborhoods and getting them to know what's taking place.
This is the donation table for Allisha Watts. The donations help this group charter buses to Charlotte for searches. It also helps produce flyers and buttons with Allisha Watts' name and picture.
From some of the action that these young people have pushed, yesterday it was not a case. Yesterday it was not official. But by the actions of some of these individuals, it is official.
These efforts are also producing more details. Just today, we learned that court documents identified James Dunmore as a person of interest in the disappearance of his girlfriend, Allisha Watts. The documents confirmed Dunmore tried to commit suicide, and he was found unresponsive inside Watts' car at an Anson County DMV. Dunmore also has a history of domestic violence, and Virginia court records show Dunmore has convictions for abduction, stalking, and assault and battery. It's believed he was the last one seen with Watts. So that is why these prayers continue, and so too does this grassroots effort to bring Allisha Watts home.
The detective saying, keep doing the work, keep telling people what's going on, keep the message going, supported us and said that he would get the word out as well. So it's very encouraging for us.